All right, I think you can just barely get all the counters here. So I'll let you know what's been going on. So I'm just about to start turn number 5, which would be the summer of 1916. Yes, and it's a question mark for the Romanian entry. It says as long as Russians have either units in Austro-Hungary or Germany, which they have both, then Romania will enter the war on the side of the Allies, and here we are. Last turn, Bulgaria entered the war. I moved them in here, and I'm going to have to take a look again, but I'm pretty darn sure now the British Expeditionary Force is in deep shit due to the fact that I think their line of supply is down there from where their sea connection was, where they got across. So I have to take a look and see if they can go that way, and yet again with Serbia as well. Maybe these guys, I never have to worry about them being out of supply. Maybe that's one of the wrinkles. I'll take a look again. That was the other thing, is like I have to also, this game moves fast, I find, but I have to also, since it's the first time I've ever played it, I have to remind myself I'm going to be probably missing things, and yet I did about halfway through last turn. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the winter turn. It means defense strengths are doubled, and I have to chill out about that. So we'll see what's happening. I'll tell you what's been happening anyways. You can probably see a little bit. This was getting a bit scary actually for the Allies, I'll be honest with you. The Germans were really starting to push in here, and I was just hammering away with bringing down some of their combat resource points and whatnot. And I was like, okay, I obviously can't let them, I was like, I'm not going to retreat anymore, but we're doing the best we can here. I'm going to try to shore it up. Just pounding away back and forth, and it's just been sometimes some god-awful die rolls for both sides. Like sometimes it's like 4 hits for the attacker. The attacker takes 4 hits and the defender takes none, that type of stuff. I was like, oh my gosh. This is going to be interesting actually, now that the French are starting to pop on in here. I'm going to see what kind of issues we can get across here in the Italian front. Whoa, going to be weird to think if that's like where a lot of the action takes place, but later on it did, didn't it, historically, you know, so we got to look at it that way. I'm still a bit wary. I've got to, yet again with the Russians, I'm just trying to bring in more units. Last turn actually was the very first time that the Allies had the when I did the superior side determination phase, they for the first time actually had more combat resource points than the Central Powers, which I thought was pretty neat. The Austro-Hungarians here, to be honest with you, have just been slowly withdrawing. We're not in any, I don't know, I'm just, that's the position I'm taking really. I'm just trying to protect my areas around here, and I'm going to allow hopefully the Germans to hover around there, and I'm waiting for the Russians to kind of make a mistake, I'm hoping. Anyways, you can see already I'm kind of like can almost wiggle in here and maybe start cutting off some lines of supply. Of course they've got tons, but we'll see how it goes. Did I build any armies last turn? I don't think the Russians built any. We got enough. Germans didn't build any. No, that's right, didn't. The Brits did, the Italians did, and the French did not. I think we're just taking it easy that way. Could I have built another Bulgarian troop? Nope. So there we go. We're in with what we've got. And yeah, so this turn I'll pop somebody into the Franco-Italian transit area, another Brit, and we'll just keep on trying to flood this spot. But darn it, this was maybe not such a good move at first. I just didn't bring enough units in. I should have. Oh shoot, I should have located that position for where the port is. I gotta remember where I popped where it was. Of course I can just go and look it up later, but I think it was probably something like, I would say probably something like that. Let's go with 1130. So that means that was the Allied thing, but now it's being cut off. I'll have to take a look at the lines of supply yet again. The only issue I'm having so far with this game, if you well, there was one other issue. I can't remember what it was. It's not like a glaring horrible issue or whatever, but the main thing for me is I'm finding in some ways the game is fast-paced enough, and I'm not saying whatever, it's just simple enough, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not getting like a huge narrative out of the game for like solo play in a sense. This for me is a far more facilitates, like I was saying before in a previous video. I really want to play this with another human being. I think that's where the juice and the good stuff lies in this game. I hope it looks kind of it looks relatively like realistic of what most people would see when they were playing this game, and it would be turn 5. The Russians have got 89 combat resource points. The Germans have 76. The Austro-Hungarians have 56. The Brits have 54. The Germans have 42. And I lent out some. So now the Bulgarians have 10. The Belgians have 5. The Italians 26. And the Turks, Ottomans are always stuck at 6 right now. But now that Bulgaria entered the war last turn, I can now start moving. I can now start moving my units through here, and obviously take out this spot. And we'll see how it goes. But now that the Romanians can start doing some interesting stuff too, maybe this is going to be a I'll have to sit down and the main thing for me is looking at the lines of supply and making sure that I'm not getting myself into trouble. But summer turn 5, loving this game. All right, hope you're having fun. See ya.